nation.
Earlier today, pro-abortion rights and anti-abortion groups marched through Boise, sharing different messages at different times, centered on the same topic. Thank you for joining us here on this special edition of the News at 10. I'm Shira Matsuzawa. If you were downtown earlier today, you probably saw these groups, and our Jude Binkley was there earlier and spoke with both sides. Jude.
Well, Shira, as you mentioned, both the Idaho Women's March and the Boise March for Life centered around abortion. And in Idaho, abortion is illegal with some exceptions. And those are exemptions for rape, incest, or to protect the life of the mother. Several hundred marched through downtown Boise Saturday morning for the Idaho Women's March.
It's time that we stand up and speak our voice.
Together, we can create a future where every Idahoan can exercise their right to make their own decisions without...
The pro-abortion rights event was centered around empowering women's voices and advocating for health care and abortion rights in the Gem State.
Women's voices are seldom heard, and certainly not at the volume of the male politicians around. And I think for 2 hours a year, we should be able to stand here on the Capitol steps and tell our truth to the legislature, to the politicians, and to each other, that these are important issues that we need to be able to speak freely about.
This is the first time the Women's March has been held since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and the first time since Idaho outlawed abortions, with some exceptions.
Who the heck do they think they are, taking away the rights of 1 million+ women in Idaho? These 90-some-odd Republicans, the GOP, who feel they have the right to take away our freedoms to make medical choices for ourselves.
Just hours later, the Boise March for Life made its way to the steps of the State House.
We have an America where the fight for the right to life is far from over, but more important than ever before.
The anti-abortion march and rally has been held every year around the anniversary of the Roe v. Wade decision, a tradition that has continued following the Dobbs decision, which paved the way for states to outlaw abortion.
Idaho is now the epicenter of the fight for the human right to life in America. That is because of the good pro-life laws that the legislature right behind me has been passing.
The march's keynote speaker, Catherine Glenn Foster, says their fight isn't over.
All across our nation, there are pro-life advocates who, more than ever before, have an opportunity to speak out, to be heard, to understand that their message and their voice matters. Because after almost 50 years of legalized, constitutionalized abortion, we now have that cap removed by the U.S. Supreme Court. Now it's gone back to being a state issue. And now the voices of every single one of our citizens, every single person here in Idaho, can be heard, matters.
2 marches, 2 sides, 1 topic. And the March for Life has been doing these marches for 51 years now since Roe v. Wade. And Idaho's Women's March organizers tell me they're committed to putting on a march annually for the next couple of years.